welcome back to my channel. What I'm going to do for you today is just a very basic overview of what it looks like to create a Google site. With many of us distance learning, hybrid, unsure of what next school year is going to look like, it's important that we are able to utilize the free tools that are available to us. My school uses the Google Suite. So what I'm going to do today is go ahead and show you how you can best utilize Google Sites for yourself, for your students' families. So the first thing you'll notice when you go to Google Sites is they have a bunch of templates. What I've done is I've just created from the template, I've gone ahead and copied the class template as well as the club template. I also have a tab open for a blank template, which is where I'll be showing you the majority of the tools today. So I'm going to go ahead and open my class Google site first. When you have your class Google site, this is what it defaults to. On every site, up top, you'll have a class name. You can add a logo. It has an automatic place for you to type in what class it is. Let's say it's for your English class, your math class. You can just say last names class. They guide you through what they expect you to add to a class website. So there's a class overview, a couple spots for pictures, bigger area for a picture, and possibly a caption. They provide a page for a schedule. So on this one, it says this is where you should put your calendar. That way, students will know where your information is. If you work in elementary, they've given an example of what a possible schedule looks like for a student. If you're working in secondary, it might look a little different. You might not include this daily schedule for them. And it has a couple extra sections for typing as well. There's a footer that they have automatically generated for you. It doesn't look like they have this on the home page, but on the other pages, you can write your name, your contact information down below. The class site also has a page for a newsletter. Again, this is something that is more geared toward elementary education, in my opinion. I am a secondary teacher. I have worked with elementary students in the past, but I believe this is more geared toward what is expected of a self-contained classroom. So there is a newsletter. They've shared a couple spots for you to have a Google Drive link. That's what that logo is. And it will have a spot for you to write the title of the newsletter. Now, if you want to use the website like this, perfectly fine. Most of it is already set up for you. So they have, again, the newsletter page, a schedule, and a generalized homepage. Google also has a club template. So let's say you're advising a club and you want a good guide that shows you what should you be providing to those who visit the site for knowledge of the club. To me, these look like young college students, but you can choose whatever pictures you want. I'll go over that when I go into the blank site template later. What Google has set up here for the club, again, you can change the name of the club, add a logo, all of that. They have 3 tabs: home, events, and about. On the home page, they have given a spot to write your club's purpose, and they've given you a few guiding questions. They have an image highlighting your past accomplishments, possibly providing a YouTube video link or a Google Drive video link. You can also embed those, and a presentation. So if you want to provide a presentation. There's also in this footer room for links like newsletter, mailing list, and join. So if you want to join that club. The events tab. So the events tab, again, this is their calendar section showing what events are upcoming. They have a bigger area where you can add more information on events, show what you have accomplished in the past, and then we still have that footer. Last but not least, on the club template, there is an about tab. So the about page is where you're able to go a little more in depth about the club, the organization, what have you. You can add some photographs, tell your audience, your readers, your viewership, who you are, why you are there, what's your mission, all that. Add some more pictures with some captions. Maybe you're showing them who's on your team. If you are a teacher, you'd have to get permission, obviously, from parents and guardians to show a child's photograph online. So I'm not sure that this would be best utilized for a high school or lower setting. But those are the options that are available. So if you don't want to go through the whole process of figuring out exactly what you need to do with the site, you do have these two options as well. What I'm going to do today is actually start with an untitled site. So the untitled site, if you go back here, you'll notice you've got all the templates on sites.google.com, so Google Sites. You can go into the template gallery, that's where you can find all these and more. But I'm going to start with a blank slate. So this allows me to customize it exactly how I want to use the site. What you'll see at the beginning, it is completely blank. It says untitled site, enter site name, your page title, etc., etc. On the right-hand side, you'll see a bunch of tools that you're able to use. You've got a spot where it will tell you can insert a text box, some images, something from your drive, embed something, totally up to you. Gives you a few options of different layouts for the page that you're on. And here are several more pieces that you can add into your page. So there's a bunch of options. You can also click on pages. This will show you what pages you have. Right now, there's only a home page. That's what it defaults to. You can click down here on the plus button to make a new page, or you can add a new link to your page. You can also click on the 3 dots to the right of any page name, and it will give you a few options. You can duplicate the page, look at the page properties, or add a sub-page. I'll show you how to do that in just a few. Initially, when you sign in, there's a themes tab as well. It defaults you to simple. On simple, it gives you what it might look like, just like it has for Aristotle, Diplomat, Vision, Level, or Impression. It shows you the colors that you can choose from. Let's say we want to make it a hot pink one. That makes it more maroon. If you want green, purple, black, etc. Choose your color. You can change the font style, say, oh, I want it to be light, which is the default on this one. I want it to look more classic, or I want it to look heavy. That just means a bolded font. So I'm going to choose Vision, and between the font styles, I think I am going to go with bold. So I think bold is a little bit easier for most people to read. I don't particularly like how the A looks, but to each their own. Now that I've chosen my theme, I'm going to go up to pages. Before I do anything, I want to decide what pages do I need. So I do want to have a home page. And from my home page, I actually am going to add a sub page, but I'm not going to do that until I have created my overarching categories. You can make a new home page, essentially, a new tab for each subject or each class that you have. That is perfectly okay. I personally teach 2 different preps and I advise a club. So what I'm going to do is create 3 new pages. So I'm going down to the bottom and I'm clicking new page. The first new page that I'm going to create is for theater arts. So this is for my class that I teach, theater arts. I'm going to hit done. This will generate a new page with that title, and you'll see up top now I can toggle between home and theater arts, just like I could on the example websites. Next up, I'm going to create a page. I also teach sophomore English, so I'll write English 10. All right, and you'll see it's added it here. The last page I'm going to create is drama club. Okay, and you'll notice when I was adding those pages, they automatically generated from the right to the left. So my first one was here, the second popped up to the left, and so forth. What you can do when you go into your filter pages tab, so this tab on the right, you can click and drag to change the order. So I've gone ahead and I've moved English above drama club, and I want to keep drama club and theater next to each other, so I am going to keep theater arts just beside drama club. So you'll see up top, now we have home, English 10, theater arts, and drama club. All right, now that I have my main tabs, I do want to add in a couple of sub pages so that it's easy to navigate. So we know what our main title is, then you could click on it and it will show you a drop down. Let's start with the home page. So on the home page, I do want to provide sort of a digital get to know the teacher. The reason I want to do this is because my school is starting with distance learning, and it's so much more difficult to make that connection with students if you don't meet them in person. So what I'm going to do, I've got my home page and I've got those 3 little dots that I talked about earlier. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to click add subpage. So the subpage here, I'm going to call it meet the teacher. I'll hit done, and you'll see that a little arrow popped up right here as well as on the top, and you can see that it's nestled underneath home. Now you can make infinite subpages. You can make a subpage for the subpage. Let's say I wanted to create a contact me form. and I wanted it to be under Meet the Teacher for some reason. I don't recommend putting it there, but you can see there's a sub page to the home page and there's a sub page to the Meet the Teacher page. When you go ahead and toggle over home, you can click on home and you'll see that there's an arrow here. You can click on that as well. So you can make as many sub pages as you want. So I actually don't want to create an actual Contact Me page, so I'm just going to click on it and hit the backspace or delete button, depending if you're on a Mac or a PC. So I've got home, I have Meet the Teacher, and I think that's all that I'm going to put under the home. I don't want to overwhelm with too many pages on this site. I want to make sure that it is friendly to all audiences. So what I'll do next, I'm going to create my sub pages for my core classes here. I'm going to do the same thing, click on the 3 dots, add subpage, and the first thing that I will add to each of my pages is a syllabus page. So all the syllabus page is going to have, which I'll show you how to add things later, I'll just have a link to a Google Drive PDF version of my syllabus for students to access. Another page I'm going to make sure I include is class calendar. What's great about this is you can actually link the class calendar from a Google Classroom to this page. So you don't have to do any extra work adding things to a Gmail calendar or anything like that. You can just link it directly and it will pull those dates and everything from that calendar for you. I'm going to do the same thing for theater arts. So we've got the main page and I'm going to add 2 sub pages for syllabus and class calendar. All right, so what I have now, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 pages. I may add one under Drama Club later, but I think this is fine for right now. So we have our home page. We have Meet the Teacher, which will go a little bit more in detail. I have English, English syllabus, English class calendar, same for theater, and a Drama Club page. Now that I've got the base of my site set up, I can start customizing it a little bit more. I didn't even name my site yet, so I'm going to take care of that first. So right here it says unnamed site. I'm just going to click into the box and I'll call it my 2020 to 2021 class website. All right, so you'll see from here that actually pulled the title down as well. What I'm going to do here instead, I'm going to add a bar and just write what would be my last name there. What Google does, it gives you an option to add a logo. So I'm going to go ahead and click Add Logo. I'm going to upload. Okay, so I went ahead and actually uploaded a Bitmoji of my Bitmoji. It pulled all the colors from that Bitmoji and I went ahead and chose this more periwinkle color. So now you'll see the top is that periwinkle color. There are a bunch more things you can do in the settings. So in navigation, I can say, oh, instead of everything being up top, I actually want it to be on the side. So everything here disappears. And you can click over here and everything will pop out. Personally, I think it's a little better to have them up top so it's really clear where people can go. So I think it's really important to keep that up top. It makes it very clear what is available to those visiting the site. One other cool feature they have right now is an announcement banner. So on announcement banner, what I can do here, I'm going to go ahead and click show banner. We'll make it bright red just so we can see it. And the current announcement I'm going to have on the banner is welcome to Mousekateacher's Google site. And I'm going to have that display on all pages and then I'll close it out. So that just added a banner up top. So this means no matter what page you go to, you'll see this announcement up top. And I don't actually need a banner on it right now, so I'm going to go ahead and take that off. That just removes it. Next, I'm going to click on your page title. So see, I'm on the home page. I'm going to go ahead and delete the default text and I'll add in some of my own. So I'm just going to use my first name here. So with this, it makes it very clear whose website are they going on to. I'm going to hit enter and you'll see this change from title to normal text. So when this happens, it changes how everything is formatted. So now this is left aligned instead of centered, it's no longer bolded, and it's just normal text. I'm gonna go ahead and click in and hit heading, and I'm gonna go ahead and center. What I'll do next is put in the school name. I'll hit enter again. It'll default back to normal text. I'm going to center just the normal text. I'll italicize it, and I'll say 2020 to 2021 school year. So that makes it a very basic, very clean kind of title. That way it's very clear where they are and what kind of website they're on. So right here, I can change the header type, and I can say, okay, so right now it's defaulted to banner. I could remove the image entirely, change it to title only. That changes the font to black. I could go as cover. That makes it almost a full page when you log in. Large banner, which has a little bit more room here, or what it was defaulted to originally, which is banner. Since this one's the home page, I am going to hit large banner. That just makes a little bit more of a formal launch page for the website. Next, I can change the image. So you can either upload something you have already, or you can select image. What you can do with your select image, they automatically give you this gallery of stock images that you can use. One that I like because it kind of mimics what my desk looks like right now is coffee, a notebook, a computer on sort of this pretty wood grain. And that kind of shows, yes, we're learning from home right now. Other things you could do is choose one from your drive. If you have Google Albums, you can actually search on Google, or you can do it by URL. I'm going to go ahead and choose the image I showed you. All right, so now you can see exactly what's going on. The page is adjusting for readability. These little 3 stars, if you click remove, it's a little bit more difficult to read what's going on. If I click it again, it's got that sort of gray transparent cover over it. It makes it a little easier to read the font here. So what I'm going to do in here, I can click on insert and I can click text box, images, etc. Or I can actually double click and I can choose what I want to add. The next thing I want to add is actually an image. So I don't really have anything in my business portfolio here for images. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to Google teacher clip art. And this is something that I would replace later on with an image of my own face. But I'm just going to go ahead and choose, let's choose this guy. He's kind of funny. So I'll click insert. And you'll see it populates over here. I'm going to double click again and I will click text. You'll see this makes it so the image is aligned on the left and I can just type as I need to here. So I'm going to write something along the lines of, welcome, my name is Miss Allie, the Mousekateacher, and I am so glad you're here. I'm going to let them know to familiarize themselves with the website as it will be one of our main forms of communication. So please take a moment to familiarize yourself with the class website as it will be updated regularly. And that's basically all we need up top. It already tells them who I am, what school I work at, and when this website is intended to be used. They'll have an image of what I look like, and they're going to have a little bit of information about how to use this website. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and click on Meet the Teacher. And in here, I might add a few pictures, tell them about who I am as a person, maybe my educational background, let them know that I've got 2 cats at home who occupy a bit of my time as they are high energy, and anything else along those lines. I'm going to go ahead and click into Theater Arts and the class calendar. So I do have a mock class under this account. So on this class calendar page, I'm going to go on the right column and I will scroll down to calendar. I'll click on that. And right here, I have my theater arts example class. I'm going to hit enter and the class calendar will automatically generate with the agenda mode. I don't personally like that mode. So I clicked setting and I'm going to change the view mode to automatically be week. I'll hit done. And you'll see it has the week. I will actually drag this across, and what's nice is they show you a few different bars so you can see how far you're dragging it over. When it's on the week format, it's really easy to see. And that's pretty much all I'm going to put on the class calendar page. Under syllabus, I don't have one uploaded onto this Google account right now, but all I would do is I would click on Drive. And let's see, there's a getting started PDF in here because I never deleted that. So I'm just gonna click insert, and I want to click, hold down, and drag it over until it's centered. So you'll see those 2 blue bars pop up, and there we go. I can always double click on each side. I can add text over here and say, please click into the PDF of your course syllabus. Return to this page at any time throughout the school year to reference as needed. And you'll notice when I typed that, it went ahead and it pushed it to the right. I want this to be a little thinner. I'm going to highlight that text, and I want it to be more of a heading size. So now that made it a little larger, so I'll go ahead and drag that over, click on PDF again for the syllabus, and I'm going to drag it right up to that box. And click on Home again, and I'm just going to show you what this looks like when it's published. So up top, there is this right here. It is a preview button. It shows you a laptop and a mobile device. Okay, now that I've clicked preview, I can see exactly what my website will look like when people access it. So on a computer, it'll look pretty much just like it looked when I was working on it. So I've got home, I can click on Meet the Teacher, English, syllabus, calendar, got theater arts, syllabus, and this is going to generate. And what's great about this, I can scroll and actually read the document here, or I can click on pop out and it will open that PDF for me in a larger scale. I've also got the class calendar here, and in a similar fashion, I can pop it out and it'll show me an overview of the month. And this is where parents, students, guardians can actually hit print, and they can print out when all their assignments are due. I'm going to hit home again, and then right here I can see what it's going to look like on a tablet or a phone. And you'll see this guy got a little bit bigger. So those are all the different ways that you can look at the website. Other things that I would add would be Google Classroom codes. That's something I would add on the homepage for each of the courses as well as the club. Maybe add one of those really cute GIFs or GIFs, however you choose to pronounce it. Anything like that, just to make it a little bit more welcoming and accessible to those who are utilizing the website. I hope this tutorial helped you out and was a little bit less daunting than when you look at a Google site and go, wow, how do I do this? A lot of what I have discovered is it's better to go simple on something like this, so it's not overwhelming, it's not too loud. It's good to play around with all of the layouts, with the different tools that you can add in, anything like that. If you have any additional questions, please leave them down below. I'm more than happy to help you out and help you figure out how this tool can best help you with your teaching this upcoming school year and in the future. As always, please don't forget to hit like on this video. It helps it reach other educators as well. Hit subscribe if you'd like to see the future content that I'm uploading through this school year as well. And as always, have a wonderful day. I'm so glad you're here. See you next time.